is ANN News Brief.
I'm Lucy Adeyemi. Zimbabwe Nurses Union has asked its striking members to return to work. The nurses went on strike 3 months ago over a pay dispute. The biggest nurses union, the Zimbabwe Nurses Association (ZINA), which has more than 16,000 members, called for the strike to force President Mnangagwa's government to pay salaries in US dollars. The government has said it is unable to do so. The union said on Wednesday it was encouraging its members to end the strike action, which has forced major hospitals to turn away patients at a time the country is fighting the coronavirus pandemic. The strike by nurses and senior doctors has crippled public hospitals. Non-emergency patients were being turned away, and some babies were stillborn because of inadequate medical care. The Zimbabwe Nurses Association President Enoch Dongo said nurses will give Vice President Constantino Chiwenga a chance to resolve the dispute. Chiwenga, appointed health minister last month, has said the government will soon table a pay offer for the health sector and stop paying medical bills for cabinet members and senior officials who seek treatment abroad to save on scarce foreign exchange. The Namibian government has announced easing further the coronavirus restrictions for international tourists to prevent a collapse of the tourism sector hit by the COVID-19 pandemic following the closure of its borders in March. In rules introduced in July, tourists had to quarantine at their first destination for 7 days, which resulted in a large number of cancellations. The Tourism Ministry has now said on Tuesday tourists could go to their pre-booked destinations and take part in activities for up to 5 days, after which they will be tested for the virus. If they stay at their pre-booked destination for fewer than 5 days, they would be able to proceed to another destination without a test. The ministry says the country's tourism sector has not seen any new bookings since the beginning of the month. There has been nearly $7 million in cancellations. We'll be right back.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network. ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
The flooding in Sudan is raising some concern. Sudan continues in a state of emergency due to devastating floods from heavy rainfall in the last few months that put several parts of the nation underwater. With further heavy rain and flooding expected in the coming days, the United Nations has warned that the humanitarian situation in the Sudan is worsening. The UN says the supplies needed to respond to the crisis are running out. The Sudanese government has already declared a state of emergency after weeks of torrential downpours led to flooding in all but one of the Sudan's 18 states. More than 500,000 persons have been affected. Thousands more have been displaced. Torrential rains are also causing flooding across the continent's Sahel region. To aid victims, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees is lending assistance, and the United Arab Emirates sent 100 tons of relief goods in an emergency flight dispatched from Dubai. That is the ANN News Brief at 1. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adeyemi.